We got it all. We got it all done. The
Combo
editing
guards.
combo guards. Here we go. Trey Johnson, we've talked about before. Malik,
Yeah, I don't
bigger
really.
Malik
Like, a
monster,
lot of
for
these
sure.
guys I don't see as combo guards. Let's be real. Dude.
Okay, what do you mean? So
Like Trey Johnson's never gonna play the one, dude.
no, combo guard's a 2, bro.
Do you know what a combo means?
Yeah, but like a 2 who has point guard like skills. Yes, I know.
Trey Johnson doesn't really have point guard like skills.
Okay, so who do you want to? We'll take him off the list then. You want
As a combo guard? Yeah.
Yeah, well, but do Dylan Harper.
Yeah. Dylan Harper's like, and he wasn't even on the list, right?
Yep, there we go. So Dylan Harper's the best combo guard.
Combo
I
guard?
personally
I
think
love
he
it.
is a natural point guard. He is one of the best
But
passers
he
in this
can't-
draft. Go.
If he's going to San Antonio, there's a really good chance he won't be a point guard there. And yeah, there are lots of other places where he could play either guard spot.
Yeah. How long ago did the screen stop sharing? Just a second ago?
Just a couple of minutes. Like as soon as you were switching out to Trey Johnson. That was
Okay, sweet. So Dylan Harper here as our one guy, as he is arguably the best, especially like you said, if he goes to San Antonio and they don't make a trade, he's the best combo guard, a guy who can play on or off ball. I think he's best suited on the ball, but his ability to tack the basket as a slasher, but also create his own shot off the dribble while being someone who, yeah, I literally watched it do it on my screen. Intrigues me at.
I said mind of its own. Go on.
Yeah, literally mind of its own. So with that being said, what are your thoughts of this? Besides Dylan Harper being self-explanatory as one of the better combo guards, I think this is an interesting draft class because there isn't a ton of combo guards. I think Ben Seraph is the other natural combo guard. Another guy that I think is, if he does develop to his fullest potential, it's at the point guard position, and that's the same thing with Dylan Harper. Jace Richardson is an undersized 6'1", I would say, guard.
Yeah. You can change the height.
Him and I are the same height.
Michigan State.
Now,
Michigan State exaggeration.
We got yourself Jace Richardson, Will Riley, Tyrese Proctor, Hunter Salas, Kobe Sanders, and Dink Pate. I'm going to take out John Tunjay because I know you didn't like him. We're going to do Mark Sears. You like that one?
No, because he's just going to be a point guard.
Okay. Elijah Martin?
Yeah, that could be. Oh, yeah. I think that was the one I suggested to you. Yeah.
Okay, Elijah Martin then. We'll go Elijah, even though I'm not really that big of an Elijah Martin fan. No offense.
Yeah. I mean, you could have him at the bottom.
But yeah, we'll move him, but
he certainly played a role for Florida.
So the way I'll put this right here, I think it's almost it's the way the list should go. A lot of these guys might have been point guards at the team they played it before, but because of their play style and the NBA, they're going to be forced more into a specialist role that is probably going to pull them away from their point guard. But if they do truly succeed to their max potential, it might be at the point guard position, like for Harper and Seraph. However, I think Jace Richardson, I think he's kind of like, I mean, I've always said a smaller Eric Gordon, but maybe it is kind of being a Patty Mills. And you know who's not on this list that should be on this list? And there's somebody that I could take off. It's Walter Clayton Jr.
You see him more as a combo, yeah.
Or do you think he's going to be?
Yeah. Well, I think he's more like going to be the lead guard.
Okay,
yeah.
So I won't put him there. So reason why I have a lot of these guys as combo guards is Jace, an undersized 2 guard who might be forced to play point guard, but might thrive as a 2 guard. You got Will Riley, who was coming up heralded as a tall guard. Tyrese Proctor was naturally a lead guard, but over the years, they kind of moved him into the Dyson Daniels mold at Duke. And Hunter Salas literally played the 1, the 2, and the 3 at Wake Forest and at Gonzaga. Kobe Sanders was a point guard at Cal Poly, then went to Nevada, was more of a 2, and at the NBA they're going to probably run him at the 2 or the 3, but he has those point guard like skills that'll run transition. Dink Pate was another guy like Will Riley that was heralded as a 6'8" point guard, but he's really just a kind of 6'8" scoring guard. And Neo Adalis, similar thing to like Will Riley, really good cutter, can slash with the ball in his hand, and is able to push the pace, but probably more suited at the 2 or the 3. Ajayi Martin played
Your top 3 guys are like combo guards, and then the rest are like a bunch of wings
that have point guard, were played guard growing up, and
sure. I mean, like, lots of people get called guards, Cyro. Like that's what I've found through the years. And yes, Will Riley certainly did play guard, and Tyrese Proctor was a point guard, and like
was Hunter Salas,
Hunter Salas too,
and Kobe Sanders, and Dink Pate.
Yeah, but yeah, like I think they fit the combo. Will Riley is a swingman. I more like that. Kobe Sanders probably as well. But yeah, and Dink Pate. I think Dink Pate's more of a swingman too.
I agree with that. Yeah. But he was. Yeah, but these were guys who legit played point guard, and if you look on,
yeah. I mean, like you could say former point guards rather than best combo guards. Like, yeah.
This is a weak combo guard class.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why I may have a lot of these weird tweeners is because of how weak this combo guard class is.
Mm-hmm.
As my microphone fell. What are your thoughts on outside? What do you think of Tyrese Proctor?
What do you think like of? Let's look at the cluster of Proctor, Salas, Sanders. Where would you rank those guys?
Dude, I'm a really big Sanders fan. Like,
I would have Sanders above those guys too.
Yeah, so over pre-draft, I think Sanders has all the tools just to be an impact defender that those guys don't have. And scoring-wise, he's just shot the cuff off the ball every time I've seen him. He's got pretty big size. Dude, one thing I will admit, Tyrese Proctor became a really good three-point shooter at a low volume, I'll admit. But he also, I think, saw what Dyson Daniels started doing and realized, like, I should probably do that instead of being like a pure point guard. Obviously, he's not as good as Daniels, but it's kind of that 6'6" big 2 guard who's like a secondary playmaker in terms of secondary facilitator.
Yeah. I think he'd be big if he's a point guard. I think as a 2 guard, he's pretty average to below average size.
6'6". Then
he's 6'4" and a quarter without shoes, and then weighed $183, 6'7" and a quarter wingspan. Yeah, all of those are like below average for a shooting guard.
What? They're like this. I thought they're par.
No. Where are the measurements I have for shooting guards right now? I just did a new one, and the measurements I had should be somewhere here. Coming shortly. I know that the standing reach is like 8'5", something like that. Wingspan, I think, over 6'8".
I have a fear that Neo Abdalis, if he doesn't go, I would have him higher, but I have a fear that if he doesn't get first round or borderline second round buzz. But at the same time, at this point, I feel like a lot of the guys might just be staying in the draft because they realize how small this draft class is, that they're like, this might be my best bet to ever get drafted.
So, Cyro, these are measurements, average measurements, NBA draft combine, positional averages, 2010 to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
These were for first rounders and second rounders that had either like been on a roster more recently or like had a sustained NBA career. And the largest sample size was actually shooting guards.
Okay, and what is the shooting guard?
So 6'4.29" without shoes, so he's like right there.
Yep.
But 201.3 for weight.
Okay.
6'8.83" wingspan.
Okay.
8'5.34" standing reach.
All right.
Below average for all of those. Other than like height, I'll give him height. Like, yeah, that's fine. But everything else is below average. Now for point guards, he is slightly above average. I think for everything except weight, yeah. Yeah,
The more you know.
and wingspan, yeah, he'd be like right there.
Were you telling me
8 feet.
Neo Dallas is ready, is primed for the shooting guard position?
Oh yeah, no, Neo is for sure, but I think he's more of a swingman. I think.
Yeah, I get that, but he did play point guard this year for Peristeri in the Greek League. So then Hunter Salas, I think he's just 3-point shooter who can play some of the point guard position. Dinkpay and Neo Dallas, both guys who play guard positions, but I do believe more of swingman. Maybe they do play. Elijah Martin, what do you think? What do you think of the last 4 or 5 guys?
Yeah, I think ranked as is, yeah, it's fine.